The one-time Hannah Montana outgrosses the glitterati at last night's MTV Video Music Awards. The question is, did it work for her? Here with a look at the daring performance is Wall Street Journal's John Jurgensen. John, thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
I've watched the clip. It's kind of amazing.
On repeat.
Not on repeat. I could only get through. The one time. This seems to be a well-worn path for young starlets coming out of what is, wholesome family TV when they're kids, and then they do this. What's the idea?
Yeah, I mean, we've certainly seen this movie before, where especially something about the Disney machine seems.
I don't think you'd seen that before. Let's be honest. You haven't seen anything quite like that.
We've seen this pattern, I should say. Yeah. I mean, and you could almost look at it being played out at the MTV Music Video Awards, where Britney Spears in the early 2000s also had her share of shocking moments, or perceived shocking moments at the time. She's, example A of former Disney child actress, singer, who has to revamp the image and really goes to extremes in order to do so. Earlier this year, Vanessa Hudgens, Selena Gomez, also starred in this movie Spring Breakers, which was also seen as kind of this petri dish of acting out in reaction to their careers as child stars.
Is this particularly prevalent among women stars?
Well,
starlets, if you like to coin a phrase, because we got
certainly.
Justin Timberlake making the move very elegantly from being child to adult without anything quite like this.
I mean, and unfortunately, this says a lot about what this means to be a female pop star.
Yeah.
Not just now, but in years past as well, where much of that image has to be based on the sex symbol and the sex status of that star. So, in order to kind of get that attention and to present themselves as stars. The image has to be sexy and daring, and those two wrapped together are pretty combustible.
Does it work?
Well,
and will it work? We're talking about it, but I mean,
exactly.
presumably the point of this is to promote sales of products, right?
Right.
Have you gone out and bought anything? I haven't.
Well, I mean, that's a larger question of who's actually buying music, but I think, in order to make an impression, she has to present herself as a brand new star, a pop star. She's tried in certain ways as a solo star and hasn't really gotten traction with her singles. In a large way. This is putting herself on the map as a solo star. And the MTV Video Awards are not necessarily a place of demure behavior. So in that respect, I mean, she did make a big reaction.
I've seen pictures of some of the audience looking completely shocked. People who would have, not been shocked by anything.
Right. There's shocking, and then there's also perhaps trying too hard. I mean, there's also some things going on in that video that seem kind of uncomfortable for a variety of reasons, especially the image of a young white woman leading a bunch of young black women dancers around and slapping them on the behinds, etc. I mean, there's certain troubling aspects to that as well. I think for people in the audience.
Well, particularly in the audience, I mean, that was the look on those faces, was pretty interesting to me.
Hard to separate what that reaction was to also who this person is that they thought they knew, the Hannah Montana reference.
Yeah, and I still can't get over the sort of the switch between the wholesome to this, and it does seem like a bit of like a shock jock thing, if you remember the old shock jocks.
Yeah.
If you get into the shock jock type thing, do you just have to constantly do something more gross time after time after time? It's not enough to be lewd one time and say something rude, then you have to do the next thing, then you have to get fired.
Right. I think consistency is going to be an interesting thing to watch here, because so many of these songs, especially that hit that she performed last night, these are the works of producers and the people who shape this music. It's not necessarily her words and her music. She's being shaped in a lot of ways by the people she's working with. She also teased the album cover for her new album coming out in October, and another song that's more of an anthem ballad kind of thing. So I don't think everything she's going to be doing is going in this direction, but this is the sort of the child acting out after years of being held back by the Disney image and Disney machine. And whether or not her fans, whether old fans or new fans, are going to embrace that is an open question.
Okay, we shall see. Always
Thanks.
a pleasure. John Jurgensen of the Wall Street Journal. More on that, WSJ.com.